Hello everyone, I'm Ben Coleman, your anchor host here at the Florida Aviation Network, coming to you from the Central Florida Aerospace Academy. This has been the 50th anniversary of the Sun and Fun International Expo and Air Show. It is a conference, but it is also one thing that happens through the year for the Aerospace Center for Excellence. If you want to know a little bit more about the Aerospace Center for Excellence, you need to talk with us here. And this gentleman I have to my immediate left is Gene Conrad.
How are you, sir? Good to see you.
Gene, always good to see you.
Oh, yeah.
Gene, let me shake that hand again. Gene, you're sweating a little bit, man.
I'm not sweating.
Are you?
Oh my gosh. Not sweating at all. Trust me. I've been live on TV all week doing all kinds of stuff. So.
And it looks good. By the way, your
Thank you.
morning pitch at 9 o'clock is good.
Thank you.
Well done.
It.
Gene, this has been a very, very interesting, informative, and I think a goal-setting year.
Oh, yeah.
For the Fly-In Convention Expo. But Aerospace Center for Excellence, this is one thing that I'd like to get you here for the wrap-up for this week. But there's a lot of other things going on that you have helped drive. And there's a lot of beautiful things going on here. And I love it when folks say, wow, 50th, how could you top that?
Yep.
Well, it's now a benchmark.
Yep, we have now set the bar. This is the bar setter for the 50th, for our 50th annual Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo. We've had a phenomenal week, but what's important is the net proceeds from everything we just accomplished this week go back into our year-round educational programming with the Aerospace Center for Excellence. So, with this high school, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, our Skylab Innovation Center, where this year we're bringing over 4,000 fifth graders through our purpose-built labs, our STEM-based labs. So that's pretty exciting for us. Obviously we have a great partnership with Polk County Public Schools and Travis Career College and our the AMP program here, the Lakeland Aero Club. And then also, we haven't really talked about this yet, and it's not necessarily public, but we're getting ready.
We can keep it secret.
No, we can do that, right? But we're getting ready to build another brick and mortar school just like this school on Winter Haven, Gilbert Field here in the next couple of years. So working with the Polk County Public Schools on that as well. So it is, it's a very exciting time for ACE and for Sun and Fun, and specifically for the flying. This is the benchmark year, and we're only going to go up from here. I mean, we really set the tone. Great programming this year. A phenomenal job on my team and our over 2,900 volunteers. But we're already getting ready for the 51st, which is April 1st through the 2nd, 2025. So we're already getting ready for that, and but it's just been a phenomenal week, and again, we can't do without our over 2,900 volunteers. I mean, they're the heart and soul of everything that we do here, and big kudos to them, and to be able to execute what we all spent a lot of time planning for. But it was just a banner year for us, record-setting across the board.
Well, I have used the term over 2,500, but now 2,900 is
2,900. That is
and plus.
Oh, plus. Plus. Yeah, it's more than 2,900. Yeah. But what's interesting too, again, being our 50th annual, over 20,000 people we have on record that have volunteered over these 50 years, these 50 fly-ins. So pretty spectacular. And again, we had our pioneer lunch on Thursday before it rained over at Prop 75, and it was great to be able to be there, and it was my honor to be there and talk to our pioneers and honor them and their sacrifice, because we didn't even have our first paid employee here until 10 years in. We're a volunteer organization, but we have to have paid staff now because we're so large, and it requires so much effort during the year to plan and all of that. But of those 40, 14 of them are on the educational side of the house. So. We've grown that quite a bit over the last 2 years. So lots more to do, but we're just getting started. So, yes, this was 50, but we're getting ready for, 51 and, for the next 50 years as well.
Gene, this is and a lot of times people have different ways of measuring worth and value. Some do it in money. Others do it in impact on human life and our experiences. And I dare say that there's not too many. I mean, EAA, AirVenture, they have a huge impact as well. But yep. Aerospace Center for Excellence, I can see this morphing into nothing more than a where do you go to find out what you want to do place, yep. particularly in aviation. But it's not just aviation. It's many different career fields sure. that are represented here. And we're just glad to be part of trying to proliferate that information.
Yep. Well, when you think about the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, there's 6 tracks, right? So if you want to be a pilot, you can do that. There's the A&P track, there's the UAS drone track, there's the avionics track, there's the A&P track, and now they also have business management here, so 6 different tracks. And you know, something when we had Women Aces Day on Wednesday, and so we had a panel of speakers actually from Republic Airways and Lift Academy. And you know, none of the ladies that were there, none of them were pilots. They were from all different aspects of aviation. You know, mechanic, dispatcher, marketing. You know, if you want to be an engineer, we need people. You know, aerospace engineering. I mean, there's so many opportunities. You know, in aviation and aerospace, and so. You know, we need pilots, we need controllers and all that, but we need everybody else as well. And you know, this week really, if you were around the grounds and you saw all the young families that were here, that was a big push for us this year, as well as you know in years past. But really this year to get more younger families here, to get them exposed, and you know with our new Future in Flight Plaza, which is right out the door here, that was a huge hit. I don't know if you made it over, but the flight sim experience in Future in Flight Plaza, that place was packed, and my son and his cousin were in there yesterday for over 2 hours flying aircraft and all of that stuff. There were hundreds of people in there waiting to fly, but that's what it's all about. Just get people engaged and then support them through the process. I mean, that's what we do here year round. So,
well, you've done a great job so far, but we're going to be watching for the next years to come. And I was talking with Fred Hyde about the brick and mortar going on in Winter Haven, and it's just nothing but positive. And every now and then, I don't know why people have to do it. There's naysayers, and why bring a negative thought into the process? Be part of the positive thought. Either part of the problem or you're part of the solution.
Yeah, and that's a great point. So, you know, like last year, so for our 49th annual, you know, it was my first year at the helm. And, you know, I come in, I'm the new guy, right? And so we made a lot of changes to aircraft parking. You know, general aviation camping was on the far west end, it's now on the east end. We introduced the island last year. You know, we tried to do some different things with the trams that absolutely did not work last year. So we worked on it again this year. It went off without a hitch this year. We can always use more trams though, so that's something we'll focus on for next year. You know, but all of this, you know, we really put an effort into all of this planning, and you know, we're not perfect, right? And it's super hard. You know, I ran the airport here for 12 years, but I got to do it every single day, and it operates every single day, and you get to tweak it. Here, best laid plans are all well and good, but then you unpack it, you go execute for 6 days, and then you put it away. I will tell you, if we were still operating this next weekend, it would be running like a champ. I mean, it would be humming, right? But now after today, we got to put it all away and get off the airfield and get back to planning. But it's a very hard thing. You know, we're not perfect, but I will tell you, my team and the volunteers put in perfect effort. But you know, there's always 1% never going to like what you do, and that's okay. But we still wanted them to come back and see where the improvements lie. And there were a lot of complaints last year, and I will tell you a lot less this year. I mean, again, there's some things we still need to address, but you know, for an event this size, and when you think about all the logistics, whether it's the air traffic, it's the vehicles coming and going in our parking lots, it's the tram system, you know, it's all the vehicles and all our flight line safety folks and the motorcycles who are escorting, you know, aircraft through crowds. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, it's not an ideal layout, you know, but our volunteers do a great job, but you know, it's not easy, but you know, there were a lot of naysayers, I will tell, that are now believers as well. And I talked to a lot of them this week that, you know, I follow social media and I respond to a lot of our stuff, and I go and talk to those folks. I seek them out, not to give them grief, but I want to hear their comments now, right? Because we listen, and we address a lot of stuff this year. We still have more work to do, and work never ends. We'll stay on it.
I go back to an old friend of mine. We both know, not with us anymore. Billy Henderson. Yep. I talked to him at the end of one of these events and said, Billy, did you learn anything? Oh, Ben, we always learn something. It's always going to be better. It's all good.
Yep.
And it's true. It's a learning experience. If it was all the same, it would be boring.
Yep.
But you do add an element every year, just something a little bit different. And I don't know if you thought about this, Gene, about your island concept.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if we're going to have to, over the next 5, 10, 15 years, move things away from this area, why don't we start trying to move it that way to where maybe the island could be the centerpiece?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's who knows at this point, but, you know, in partnership with ACE and Sun and Fun, Visit Central Florida and the airport, we're doing a 50-year plan for our site. So whether it's the year-round educational and our permanent facilities, and and the fly-in, we're going through that process right now. In Future in Flight Plaza, we had a tent with our engineers in there, querying our stakeholders and our guests this week so they can opine and be part of the process. But that's something we're looking forward to at next year's fly-in, to unveil what the campus and what the future looks like, because we have to start planning. The airport here is growing significantly. There's going to be a new runway. Now granted, again, we're talking 8 to 10, 12 years out before that happens, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't be doing our planning now. And if there are changes or new facilities we can build and go execute on, let's start doing it now and not wait to the last minute and be scrambling. And the fly-in, again, 6 days, but it's the year-round opportunities that exist as well. And I will say, we need to diversify our revenue, for what we're doing here. We're not for profit, right? But we rely so heavily on this fly-in. And just like with the COVID year, I mean, it could decimate, or it harmed the organization and slowed down the momentum that was already being built by Lights and the team and the volunteers and all of that. It slowed it down significantly, and we're just getting back into that rhythm again. But we need to do a better job to diversify so we're not so dependent, on the fly-in for us to make it. I mean, because if we had a washout, or we had rain on Thursday, we probably lost $200,000 on Thursday because we couldn't have the air show and all that. And people, we still had a good day, to be quite honest. It's actually better. I think that this past Thursday, even though we had rain, was better than our Thursday in 2019. Right?
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, but we all those variables, that's what worries me about an event this size, are those things we can't control. But let's control the things we can, obviously. But again, diversifying our revenue is very important. I will say one thing we got accomplished this year is the bash. We raised over $400,000 this year.
I didn't know that.
And that's a record for us. It's basically double than what we've ever done in the past, and so we're pretty excited about that. And again, set the bar pretty high, but that helps, and it helps even out that, if we don't have a great day like on Thursday. So we made it up that night, actually, in the bash. So, we got to focus all over the place. There's just a lot to do, and, the work never stops. But I'm going to take a couple days off and relax a little bit. And, Benji here was sending me, some pictures on we were texting back and forth this week. I appreciate that. It made me smile, a couple times. Just, let's get through this week, and, we're almost there. And, but I appreciate the support too. It's nice to get that, a little something when you can get down a little bit and you're so tired, but it's something to make you laugh. It's always fun. So I appreciated that. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Yep.
And I know it was well received. There's always, I don't care how the best laid plans, even the best laid plans, there's going to be a wild card come out at some point.
Sure.
And how you deal with it. And I'm impressed. I was impressed the way you ran the airport. Similar situation, a lot different dynamics. But good plans, a wild card. You got to handle it. And you have brought that over into this side of the field. And I love seeing that type of management response.
Yep. A lot of people comment to me because, my Lights, he always drove around a golf cart, and, and people are like, why don't you drive around the golf cart? Because it's hard to get from one end of the campus to the other. It's 800 acres, and I'm moving around. I'm an operational minded person, right? And I want to know what's going on, and if there's an issue, I want to be able to get to it quickly and address it. So I drive in a vehicle because I got to move around really, really fast and help. And my job is to just clear the path for whether it's my team or the volunteers. And just a quick story, like tonight, for our tail dragger party, we're expecting a massive crowd, and we ran out of tickets. And so we ordered more food, and it's like, well, what if someone shows up and they don't have a ticket? Let them in. Don't worry about it. If we're going to worry about how much the food costs, and we're in trouble, but just give them the pickle. Let's move forward and be happy. It was such a great week, and we're going to celebrate tonight and have a good time and celebrate our volunteers and our collective victory for this week.
Well, and it has been, and it will continue to be as long as we have like-minded people putting together like-minded ideas, and all moving the right direction. And as soon as, and there's, again, we've mentioned the word naysayer. there's a way to deal with the naysayers.
Yeah, but I will tell you,
Overcome
we changed a lot of hearts and minds this year too, especially with our exhibitors and our vendors, because last year I failed miserably with the internet and the Wi-Fi. We failed miserably, but we executed at a super high level this year because we
It
put a
worked.
renewed focus back on it this year, and our exhibitors are super happy. We had a record number this year, so we're very fortunate that even after last year I failed so miserably, but they're very, very happy, and they're going to be coming back in a big way. And because of our ability now with our network and what we've been able to build over the last 2 years, our exhibitors are telling us they're going to come back with some bigger exhibits with more ability to showcase, whether it's avionics or different things, because the network is robust now, and it worked. And it worked, and my week was not miserable. I didn't have any calls about the Wi-Fi or the network all week, so it was awesome this year.
So next year we can work about this vehicle situation, and I'm sure.
Yes, the vehicle, we are totally addressing that, because
Okay.
that is, and two, when you think about it, us and AirVenture, two very unique events for what we do. No one else does what we do, so there's two of us, right? And so there aren't a lot of insurance companies out there willing to insure in events like this. So when we do address it next year, it's not because we don't want people to be able to get around or we're trying to make anybody's lives difficult, but when you're mixing aircraft and golf carts and people and vehicles,
It's just better time.
but we have to address it, and trust me, it's going to happen next year. So I'm sure we'll probably make someone unhappy, so I'm already telling you right now, my apologies. But it's about the safety of our guests and our aircraft and everybody that's out here. So we're going to spend a lot of time on it this year.
Gene, it is about the network, and it's about the experience. And I've got this up here just to remind me of all the folks that we turn this information over to, and it's a pyramid effect.
Yep.
Where it goes out. And you're doing the same or similar over there with your broadcasts.
Yep.
We're getting the word out.
Yep.
And even with this massive situation going on with the people, it's getting more congestion. We can handle that if we prepare for it, and let's lead into this with some more education in advance.
Yep.
Folks, there's going to be fewer carts.
Yep.
There's going to be fewer cars. All the cars is necessary. Maybe some markers on the pavement of this is vehicle lane, this is pedestrian lane.
Yeah, but the
Don't-
problem is that it's an airport, right? And I can't go out there and start, striping their pavement. They're not going to allow us to do that kind of stuff. I mean, but that's part of the process with, our master site plan and what we're going to be doing,
have
right?
them thinking about
Yep.
leave the area open for park. Walk around the edge. I mean, just training folks.
Yep. But it's hard. I mean, during the first several days of the event, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it's really not that bad, right? But like when we get into Friday and Saturday, so the first part of the week, it's really for the aviation enthusiasts. That's generally who's here at that time. When we get into Friday and Saturday, it's a complete stroller derby. The families are out here. We want them to be here. That's what it's all about. But they're all looking around. It's like, wow, this is all. And we want that, right? I mean, that's the whole point. That's the intent, to get them excited. But a lot of them have never been out here before, never been around airplanes, and so it can get quite chaotic. But again, the volunteers do a phenomenal job, keeping everybody separated and keep them safe.
It is ironic. You say, oh, look up. Oh, no, look down.
Yeah,
Where you go?
yeah, I
Oh,
know.
look up. No, look down.
Yep.
We are looking forward to bringing this much more robust. Our volunteers here, same your volunteers. These folks, they spend their week in a cocoon, and we want to get them out. We need more. If you'd like to volunteer for the Florida Aviation Network, see Obie Young. He's
And
gonna kill me for that.
we need more volunteers too. Get ready for next year. We need volunteers. We need volunteers on security, and we need volunteers in the parking lot. That we always have challenges with that. But
Can I drive a tram?
you can drive a tram.
Oh man, I'd love to drive.
Get
a tram.
over there.
I do love to get out and volunteer like that.
Hey, and driving a tram, I got to tell you, it's probably one of the best jobs because you get to see everything all day long.
It's
Talk to
therapeutic.
people.
You're an information source.
Yep.
Where's this? Where's that? Down here to the left.
Absolutely.
There's a lot coming. There's a lot coming, and I'm anxious, and it's a good thing that I'm of my age, because I'm going to be around for another at least 40, 50 years to enjoy this for the next 40,
I may
50
not,
years.
but you enjoy it, and just tell people about me and say, hey, he was a okay guy. He did some decent things, and that I'll be happy.
Do you remember Gene Conrad?
Yeah, and everybody would be like, no.
Gene who?
Yeah, and that's okay, because at the end of the day, you know, the things that we're doing with the Aerospace Center for Excellence and Son of Fun, if we're doing our job right, we're changing the lives of others, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day.
Well, and again, these things, say what you will, they can hurt, they can help. Let's use this as a tool to help.
Yep.
The app was great.
Yes, there's some improvements.
Melissa?
There's some things we need to do with that, but it's good. I'm curious to see how many people downloaded, because on the wristbands this year we had the QR code on
Yeah.
the wristbands.
Yeah.
I think we did about almost 7,000 downloads last year. I'm hoping it's probably double, if not more, this year. So we'll see.
We'll see. Let's put it. You know what? I had so much. Let's do this again next year.
I'll be here.
I'll be here.
All right.
Will you be here?
Yes,
I
you
think
all better be
everybody
here.
will be
Everybody
here.
in the studio, yay! Awesome. Let me wipe my hands off
Wait,
here. Sorry.
You let me try my.
right.
Mine. I might have been the one sweating.
No, it's
I'm
me.
here talking to the president and CEO.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, appreciate you guys. Thanks to the team here to help us get the word out, you know, on a year-round basis. So appreciate you guys, and look forward to being back here same day next year, April 6th, 2025.
April 1 or 6?
April 1 through 6.
1 through
hey,
6.
And no April Fool's jokes on the first day. Everybody's already been telling me they're gonna like try to prank me. I'm well ahead of you. I'm gonna have my own ready to go. But no April Fool's jokes, please. And the weather gods, no April Fool's jokes. Thank you.
And at least one cleansing day. We have 2 hours of rain. That's just to wipe the dust off.
Yeah,
everything.
and that Thursday rain was actually perfect. It cleared the air out. It's
yeah.
just been absolutely
and the next day,
beautiful.
The humidity was nice and
Yes.
brisk. It was like a spring day up north.
Yep. And we took a lot of water really fast, and the ground just took care of it. It was great.
Just as we planned.
Yep. Yeah, I know, right? That's one of those variables I was talking about we can't control, so that's what I worry about.
Gene, we're gonna wind it up.
Awesome. Well,
We're gonna
thank
let
y'all.
you go.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And where will we find you tomorrow?
I'll be out here tomorrow working. I won't be here at 8 in the morning, but I'll be out here tomorrow working because we have to get off the airfields. We have to be off the airfield by Thursday.
Okay.
So we're going to be out here cleaning up. That's what we're going to be doing.
Tuesday. We're going to be droning over your pool. I'm going to be sipping on a beer.
Yep. I may be sleeping still.
Okay. Folks, thank you for joining us. This is a wrap. This is for the 50th annual Sun and Fun International Expo and Fly-In. I say that quickly because it's really the the Aerospace Center for Excellence. This is one of their projects that is very condensed for 1 week out of the year. Let's see what we can do to learn from it and do it again next year, bigger and better. Ben Coleman, your anchor host, Florida Aviation Network. See you next year.